Dolphins are set to receive. And the kickoff by Kerry Brady. Lorenzo Hampton, 3 yards deep in the end zone, fumbles the ball, and he'll come out to the 20-yard line. As you saw Dan Marino trot on the field, knowing that he brings along with him today Lorenzo Hampton in place of the injured Troy Stratford, who's down with an ankle injury, and Woody Bennett in the backfield, and the Marks brothers, famous now around the National Football League, perhaps the most prolific duo in the history of the league. And the offensive line, they will have John Giesler back today at some point in the game. He played a bit last week. First offensive play of the game, the Dolphins from their own 20. Edmonds in motion at Bennett. And the big fullback crashes out over the 25 to about the 27-yard line. He is stopped by inside linebacker Cliff Odom, the 8-year veteran out of Texas Arlington. As you look at the Colts defense, 2 outstanding defensive ends in Donnell Thompson and Joe Hand. And the linebacking core among the best in the National Football League. Fred Young, of course, coming here from Seattle. There is nobody better in the league than Dwayne Bickett, having another great year. The secondary is suspect, particularly the cornerbacks Thomas and Daniel. Second down and a long 2 for Dan Marino and the Dolphin offense. Complete to the 35-yard line. Barry Krause has the coverage, but that will be the first down of the game as he hits his running back Lorenzo Hampton out of the backfield.
We talk about the Miami vertical passing game, and that means getting the football downfield. But as you take a look at it here, the Colts are going to give a lot of ground on the corners. They're going to dare the Dolphin receivers to run deep. So what does Marino do? Well, they're giving him the underneath passes, so Marino takes the short pass to Hampton.
10 now from the Miami 35-yard line. Bennett again. Gain of about 2 or 3, almost stopped in the backfield by Donnell Thompson, who had good penetration. The man who finally brought him down was Barry Krause, the 10-year veteran out of Alabama.
Donnell Thompson, number 99, having perhaps his finest season as a member of the Colts. Watch Thompson here take on the blocker, good straight up by the defender there. He destroys the block and gets in the backfield. Didn't make the tackle, but disrupted the play.
Well, it hasn't taken Troy Stratford very long to get into the ball game, ankle injury and all. He is now set in the backfield on 2nd down and 8. Complete. Davenport for the first down, and much more in the Indianapolis territory, and brought down inside the Colts 40-yard line. 25 yards on the play. Mike Pryor is the man who made the saving tackle, but Davenport with the reception.
That shows you don't always have to throw the football 25 yards down the field to have success. Watch the protection here of the offensive line, which is the beginning of pass protection. You're going to see these people just keep all the blue shirts away from Dan Marino. When Dan Marino has time to do that, he's practically unstoppable.
Reggie, Donnell Thompson was saying yesterday they were going to try to jam it up in the middle, force him to throw off the wrong foot. So far, they haven't come within 2 yards of him. Line of scrimmage at 39 of the Colts. Nothing there. Woody Bennett on the carry for maybe a yard. Big John Hand, the 3rd-year defensive end out of Alabama, the first one to make contact.
This is a well-respected front 7 of the Indianapolis Colts. We talked about Thompson. You just saw John Hand, #1 draft choice out of Alabama a couple of years ago, make a good play in the running game. Of course, we talked about Fred Young coming here and Dwayne Bickett being as good as there is. And the 2 inside linebackers don't get a lot of recognition, but they are a very experienced and good tandem.
Duper is split to the left and Clayton to the top of the screen to the right. Mark, of course, Mark Clayton, that is, coming home here. He's a native of Indianapolis. Marino. Lorenzo Hampton in the open field. 20.
He pulled a muscle.
10. He did indeed, but he got in for the touchdown, Miami. 39 yards It's Hampton pulling a muscle somewhere in the neighborhood of the 25-yard line, but he was so wide open, Reggie. It was such an open field, he could limp into the end zone.
I alluded to the point a couple of plays ago. The Colts are known as being a team that will give you room underneath. They gave too much room that time, as Marino very smartly is taking the underneath receiver. Now, I think it's either the hamstring or the ankle. You'll see it here. Here's Marino. Once again, the protection is just excellent. Marino with that quick delivery in the face of the rusher right there. Now, let's see if Pryor doesn't grab him by the ankle. It's either the ankle or a pulled hamstring. Having been in that situation many times, it's one or the other.
And so Fuad Reves will try the extra point. The kick out of Ron Jaworski's hold is up, and it is perfect. And so a drive of 80 yards in 6 plays took 3:45, and the Dolphins have jumped on the top of the Indianapolis Colts. It's 7-0. In Indianapolis has magnificently executed a drive as you would ever want to see. It took him 3:46, and Dan Marino moved his team downfield, getting the 39-yard touchdown pass to Lorenzo Hampton.
And let me say this. Marino really wants to get the ball to Duper and Clayton outside, but they're playing so far off that he's willing to take the underneath passes, and so far it's been very effective on that first series.
Preliminary report on Lorenzo Hampton is a hamstring pull. You saw Elbert Bentley in single safety for the Colts. Fuad Reves to do the kicking off. Bentley at the 5. Near the 30-yard line, averaging better than 22 yards a return. That's 6th best in the AFC. And you look at the rookie Chris Chandler coming on his first National Football League start. And he will go with Bentley as the H-back, and of course he's got the fabulously talented Eric Dickerson as his lone setback for Dan and Brooks, the outside receivers, and Pat Beach. And an offensive line that is all patched up. We'll tell you about that. Patton and Baldinger are backup people forced to start today. Hinton's not dressed. Hall's not dressed. Ron Salt is a holdout. Dickerson. Mark Brown, the inside linebacker, is the man who made the stop after a gain of about 4 on the carry. And you look at the Dolphins defense. Turner, Soche, and Bosa. Don Shula said yesterday he's feeling better each week with his defensive unit. Offerdahl has been the kingpin, the linchpin in this defensive group, but Hugh Green is on the way back. Solid corners, a rookie free safety. Don Shula has to start many rookies, Reg. Again. For about a yard. He was slowed up in the backfield. Mark Brown is the man who made the stop, but he was trapped by Eric Kumaro, I believe, who had the penetration and forced him to reverse his field. So it's 3rd down and about 5. The Colts converting 3rd downs at the rate of about 23% this season. Dickerson again, a reverse. Verdun, first down and a whole lot more. Verdun pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line by Rodney Thomas. But the Colts with a little razzle-dazzle on their...
And a punt for 73 yards and a touchdown.
And caught a 54-yard pass in addition to that. From the 21-yard line. And we may have run out of time here. Maybe delay of game against Indianapolis. The 45-second clock shows double zeros.
The one thing about the way the Colts are playing is they're building confidence in Chris Chandler. That's what you want to do with a young player.
Play still first down.
You want to build the confidence in Chris Chandler. Make the supporting cast take the weight of the game, Sam. Make the people who are playing outside. Give the ball to Eric Dickerson. Don't make the game rest on what Chris Chandler does.
Single setback, of course, Dickerson. They used the one-back set, Indianapolis, and Ron Meyer, who was Dickerson's coach, of course, for 3 years at SMU. Chandler trying to scramble and makes something happen, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. The thing they like about Chandler, at least Ron Meyer likes about him, is that in Hogaboom and Trudeau, he had rather immobile quarterbacks. But in Chandler, he's got somebody who can turn a negative into a positive.
And that comes with youth and experience. And as you see here, watch Chandler, number 17. Probably won't recognize defenses the way that Trudeau and, of course, the way Hogaboom would, but he'll have the ability to run out of danger if it presents itself. There is Hogaboom with the headset on, and Trudeau has the blue top shirt on.
John Bosa made the stop. Second down, 14 Indianapolis now at the 25-yard line of Miami. Dolphins lead at 7-0 early on. Fake the pitch to Dickerson. Chandler's going to keep it and got back to the line of scrimmage. Busted play or what, Reg?
Well, this is what you're going to have to suffer through when you have a rookie quarterback, because veteran quarterbacks will run to buy time to throw. Young quarterbacks want to run the football and keep on running, because that's what he did for 4 years in college. Let's take another look at it here. T.J. Turner, good lateral pursuit by number 95, Turner of the Dolphins. Getting outside, he wouldn't allow Chandler to get around him.
Third down and 14 now. The line of scrimmage still the 25-yard line. And they did not want to have to put Chandler into this kind of situation. Rodney Thomas becomes the nickel back now for Miami, expecting pass. Verdun motions. Pressure. Almost fumbled the ball as he was knocked to the ground. T.J. Turner is the man who jarred the ball loose and got the sack way back at the 33-yard line.
And I want to tell you something right now. That's inexcusable by the offensive line of the Indianapolis Colts. There were only 4 Dolphins rushing. The Colts have 6 men in blocking. You should not get to the quarterback when you have 6 blocking 4.
T.J. Turner just came free. And so Dean Biasucci will attempt a field goal. Biasucci has been hampered by a number of injuries. A 50-yard effort. Placement by Ron Stark. The kick is good. They didn't look hurt on that one. A 50-yard field goal by Biasucci, who's now 4 for 5 this year, having missed only from 57 yards. So the Colts don't get the 7, but they're on the board. It's 7-3 Miami. We'll be back. 28 to play first quarter. Kerry Brady has it teed up after the field goal by Biasucci. As I mentioned, he was 4 for 5, and the 57-yarder hit the crossbar, so this guy could well be 5 for 5. A Pro Bowler last year, has been hampered a bit by some injuries, but did not look hurt on that one.
This is one of the best kicking games in the league. Biasucci, Stark,
Reggie
good
Roby.
return people in Verdun and Bentley, so they have a premier kick return and kickoff game.
The entire game is blessed with some great kickers. Reggie Roby on the other side with Fuad Reves. Kerry Brady was picked up this week to do the kicking off to protect, obviously, Biasucci's injuries. They tried Jess Atkinson last week. He didn't work. This week it's Kerry Brady. Jarvis Williams, Scott Schwades. Twin safeties. It'll be Jarvis Williams at the 7-yard line for Miami. 20. Knocked down right there. Got just across the 20. Was knocked back by Michael Ball. So it's 7-3 here with the Dolphins leading, and let's check other scores around the league. Scott Norwood a field goal. Buffalo leads. Cincinnati. Lewis Billups with a fumble recovery for a 7-0 lead over Cleveland. New England out early over Houston. Vikings lead Philadelphia. Danny Noonan, a 16-yard pass interception. Would you believe that? Defensive lineman. Dallas leads Atlanta 7-0. Marino with a masterful drive the first time he had the ball. Woody Bennett, Troy Stratford are his setbacks in the eye. Batted down. O'Brien Alston, number 97, the 6'6" rookie out of Maryland, got his body and hands up high to bat it down.
O'Brien Alston is a very surprising young player. 10th round draft choice out of Maryland. Came in here, beat the former outside linebacker Johnny Cooks out of the position. Now this is what you look for in outside linebacking play. Athletes, guys who are 6'5", 6'6", that can jump and run.
Second down at 10. Miami at its own 20-yard line. to the 25, across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. Picking up about 4 on the carry. Third down rather and 6. Eugene Daniel, who has had some problems here, particularly in pass coverage, and got involved in that incredible call in Cleveland with simultaneous possession. You see that about once a year, don't you, Reggie?
As a matter of fact, that has prompted Tex Schramm, the chairman of that powerful rules committee, to say that we need to take another look at that rule. I think it's palpably unfair.
James Pruitt, number 82, joins the Marks brothers. Third down and 6. Marino out of the shotgun. Plenty of time. Almost. Intended for Mark Clayton up around the 45-yard line.
And the Colts only had 10 men on the field. Fred Young was trying to run on the field at the last moment. They defended that play with only 10 men. I don't think Dan Marino recognized that the Colts were shorthanded.
So Reggie Roby now on 4th down. And he will punt to Clarence Verdun, the young man we have already seen the excitement that he can put into a football game with a 44-yard reverse.
What picture-perfect form has Reggie Roby? He will get the ball very, very high.
Bobbled it. Still got it off. Verdun at the 30. Wanted to reverse his field. Stayed on the near sideline and brought it back to the Miami 43-yard line. 44 on the punt by Roby and 22 on a brilliant return.
What a spectacular play of Verdun. He is electrifying this crowd. Those are moves that I haven't seen in a long time as he spun around, brought the ball back to the sideline, and broke it for a nice gain. Teams give you Verdun with that beautiful 360-degree spin move, and then the acceleration gives the Colts outstanding field position.
At the Miami 43-yard line, Dickerson, now it's Bentley, the lone setback. Alfred Bentley squirms for a hole to about the 37. Mark Brown, the inside linebacker on that side, is the man who made the stop, but not before Albert Bentley picked up 7 yards. It's 2nd down 3, and that's the good position to put Chandler in now. He's got some options.
Exactly. You want to give him an opportunity where he can feel comfortable making or executing the plays that are called from the sidelines.
The lone setback. That's Verdun in motion. Play action. Brooks. First down, Indianapolis, and out of bounds at about the 25. Paul Langford, the 7-year veteran out of Penn State, is the man who made the stop. But Chandler, they're buying himself some time using the play action. 11 yards in the first down.
Well, the success of the play is tied in to the success that the Colts had on first down. If you rush the football on first down and pick up 5 and 6 yards, this is what you're going to get. You're going to be able to dictate to the defense the kinds of plays you want to run. Bill Brooks from Boston University in his 3rd year is an excellent possession receiver, has outstanding leaping ability and hands.
Line of scrimmage, the 25 of Miami. Here's Dickerson loading up. Good defense by Miami as they met him head-on, gained about 2 or 3 yards. You mentioned that Bill Brooks is from Boston University. This has got to be the first time in the history of the National Football League that we have an alumnus from Boston U playing for one team in him, Brooks I'm speaking about, an alumnus from Boston U and Jim Jensen playing for Miami, and an alumnus in the booth with Reggie Rucker.
The Terriers. Very well done.
Only 3 guys? How many more? A couple more?
We're not greedy.
Yeah. Gain of 3, 2nd down at 7. Dickerson now out on a wing, and Verdun is in the slot, and Bentley is a lone setback. That's a different look. Bentley gets the ball. First down inside the 15 to about the 11. Jarvis Williams and Mark Brown combined to make the stop, but Indianapolis is showing us something here offensively.
One of the game's most versatile performers. Last year, he led the American Football Conference in all-purpose yardage. This man can return kicks, he can run from scrimmage, and he is a tremendous threat catching the football out of the backfield. Look at him bust right through the middle, and how surprising that is when you consider the patchwork frame of mind that offensive line is in.
Let's spot the ball on the 12. Dickerson, the lone setback. To about the 10, stood up there by T.J. Turner and the entire right side of that Miami defensive unit. It is almost incredulous to believe that the Indianapolis Colts have not won a football game in the month of September since 1985. They have lost their last 10. Add to that the jinx they had against Miami, Reggie. They had lost 14 straight until they went down to Miami in November of last year and finally won a ball game. So they got that monkey off their back, but they haven't got the month of September off their back yet.
Of course, in that game, Eric Dickerson rushed for over 150 yards.
Second down and 8. The ball spotted at the Miami 10. Dolphins lead at 7-3. Colts threatening to take the lead. Chandler with time. He's got a man just out of the outstretched reach of Albert Bentley in the corner of the end zone. Paul Langford had the coverage, but the ball was overthrown and out of the field of play.
But what I liked about that pass was Chandler showed me a little finesse. This man has a pistol, as we say in the game, because he can really fire it. But watch him loft it very softly over the defender, just out of reach of Bentley. But again, they've got to look for Bentley more in this ball game.
And where only the receiver could have caught it, nobody else. Third down and 8. Dickerson again, the lone setback behind the rookie from Washington, Chris Chandler. Dickerson cuts it outside. 5, puts his head down to the 2. He'll be close to a first down. Bud Brown, number 43, was over there to help make the stop along with Mark Brown, and that will be very close to a Colts first down.
The blocking has been very good so far, particularly on that left side of the line where Joel Patton, number 65, is playing in place of Chris Hinton, and Randy Dixon, number 69, is playing at left guard for the holdout Ron Salt. They're getting good pressure and good movement off the line of scrimmage by those two players.
They've got inches for the first down. Will they go for it or not?
I would think with the state of mind they're in, go for this. You go for it here.
It could bring some confidence to this entire offensive unit. You were talking, Reggie, about the offensive line. This is only the 6th career start for Baldinger, the 4th career start for Randy Dixon, and the 3rd for Patton. So you talk about inexperience, and then you've got a rookie quarterback to boot. But they look all right so far.
Ron Meyer is pretty happy with the play of his offense so far, because the one thing that's happening is that you don't know Chris Chandler is out there.
3 tight ends. Beach, Boyer, and Brandis on 4th and inches. From the eye, Dickerson behind Bentley. Dickerson, no, play action. Chandler's going to run it. I don't know. Offerdahl with a great defensive play along with Mark Brown. And the indication is that he did not make it. Miami held.
See, and if you saw number 84, Mark Boyer, he was very frustrated in the end zone because he felt that Chandler should have delivered the football while he was on the run. And this is extremely difficult to make a young player understand. Watch Chandler. Now, you want him to throw. You want him to look for someone to pass. He's so accustomed from his collegiate days to running the football. You can't do that in the National Football League. These are paid assassins. These people make tackles that last. They don't miss tackles in the National Football League. You see that? Good tackling.
So the Dolphins have the football back on a great goal line stand, and they still lead 7-3. We'll be back. Taking the handoff from Marino as we come back, and on first down from the 2-yard line, picking up just inches. It'll be second down at about 10, and there's an injured.
It's
John Hand, number 78, down, and he is in pain.
He has that elbow and that arm caught up under him.
Oh, my goodness.
He made a great play. They almost had Stratford in the end zone for a safety.
He's gesturing down to his leg, I think. Well, Offerdahl is the man of the hour, having made a great defensive stand against Chandler, but as Reggie pointed out, he had Mark Boyer in the end zone if he wanted to deliver the football.
This is a man who enjoys this aspect of his job, putting his helmet and shoulder pads on people who have the football. And you see him make that play, and that was an excellent tackle because he took the feet out from under Chandler.
As they attend to Hand, it's interesting to note the Dolphins, who have 7 on the board here, have had some problems in field position early on. You look at our 10-minute ticker. Jim Kelly with a touchdown pass. The Bills up 10-0 now. par with a field goal in that Cleveland-Cincinnati game. We've had 2 blocked extra points already. New England, after a Brogan touchdown, had their extra point blocked. Brent Fullwood a touchdown. They missed their extra point. And Dallas with a 14-7 lead over Atlanta. And the Saints out easy over Tampa Bay.
You don't want to let the offense off the hook here. You want to keep them in this part of the field because you want that good field position. And the Colts have to play tough run defense here.
Ezra Johnson replaces John Hand. 2nd down and 10. Marino, short to Clayton. And a first, up to about the 9-yard line. Gain of about 7. Mark Clayton with his first reception as the young man, the native of Indianapolis, comes home.
Yeah, there's David Shula talking with Jim Jensen. What a gutsy call, huh? Marino setting in the end zone. Good pass protection all around.
But he's got that great quick release, Reggie. And
I think that's one of the reasons why he is unafraid to go back into the end zone and throw the football, because he does have that quick release.
3rd down and 3. Colts trying to get the crowd back into this game. Harvey Armstrong, number 79, with a windmill motion of his arm, trying to encourage the crowd to make some noise here, make it difficult for Marino. 7 defensive backs being used by the Colts, and Miami forced to call a timeout. So Dan Marino now will walk over and talk with both offensive coordinator David Shula and his father.
Well, that was a smart move by Dan. He couldn't hear. And the significance of that, Sam, is that when you get to the line of scrimmage, when you face those situation defenses, you may have to check out of the play that you called to get into something that will get rid of the football quickly in case they blitz.
This graphic, Reggie, indicates that obviously this is a young team that Don Shula has. He indicated to us in meeting with him yesterday that this is perhaps the youngest team that he's ever had as a coach in the National Football League. That graphic tells you everything. 10 rookies on this club, forced to even start 1 or 2 on occasion, and 13 guys who have played in the league for fewer than 4 years.
I like what Bum Phillips once said about Don Shula. He can take Yorn and beat Hisn, and he can take Hisn and beat Yorn.
That's my favorite.
Excuse the grammar, folks.
Yeah, that's my absolutely all-time favorite quote. 3rd down and 3. Duper wide left. Clayton and Pruitt split to the right. He's got Jim Jensen in the backfield. 7-3 Miami. Somebody ran the wrong pattern. Might have been Scott Schwades, who cut it off a little bit short, went for a sideline, and Marino threw a fly pattern.
We used to call that the bum's rush. The only objective now is to get to the quarterback. And even Marino, with the outstanding protection that he enjoys and the quick release, had to get rid of that football. That's the way you deal with a prolific passer like Dan Marino. You have to have pressure.
Roby's first punt went 44 yards, and Verdun brought it back 22. Look at this magnificent punt, driving Verdun back to the 33. And he's still got 10 out of it. There's a flag down, our first penalty of the day.
I promise you the defensive coordinator could kiss Reggie Roby for getting off a punt like that.
Let me correct myself. 2nd penalty of the day. We had to delay a game.
Roby gives you that real good hang time, gets that ball high into the air so the sprinters can get downfield and cover.
Illegal block in the back, number 31, during the run back. 10 yards, and it'll be a first down.
53 yards on the punt by Reggie Roby, 12 on the return that, of course, is nullified on the push in the back. So Indianapolis will begin this drive from its own 31-yard line. By the way, our Olympic coverage continues on most of these NBC stations following football. 2 American boxers scheduled to fight, Arthur Johnson and Andrew Maynard. So we invite you to stay tuned for that. The games of the 24th Olympiad, only on NBC. Chandler from his own 31. Dickerson. About 4 yards as he nears the 35-yard line. Brian Soche, John Bosa, the entire front of the Miami Dolphin 3-man defensive line. And Eric Dickerson, who needed 21 yards to move past Jim Taylor into 8th place in the all-time NFL career rushing list, has done it. That's 21 yards. Do I have to say unofficially, or is that official?
As long as it's losing the thing here.
Our statistician Bob Burnett says it's official. It's all right with me. Dickerson outside. Well, if he didn't have it then, he's got it now. 6 more across the 41. Hugh Green is the man who brought him down on the far sideline. That will be very close to a first down. And the gun sounds ending the first quarter. So after both teams struck like lightning with the touchdown by Marino and the field goal by Indianapolis, it's settled down 7-3 at the end of one. Over back at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, and as Reggie set up at the beginning of this broadcast, figuring that Mr. Dickerson's going to have to carry the ball 25 to 30 times with a rookie quarterback, he is right on target for a 30 carry performance, is he not?
He's carried 7 times for 27 yards, but you know the thing about Dickerson is that you want to get him enough shots. You want him to carry the ball 25 or 30 times, because if he handles the ball that many times, somewhere along the line you expect number 29 to break one. He could go, you could stop him, then he could go 80 yards on you for a touchdown.
So as we begin play here in the second quarter, the Colts trailing 7-3. They begin at their own 41-yard line. And again, with that patched-up offensive line, Ray Donaldson is the only constant there, along with Ben Utt. And Randy Dixon at the left guard with Patton and Baldinger the tackles. It's awfully tough to play when 3 of your starting offensive linemen are sitting on the sideline. And in Ron Salt's case, I don't know where he is. Contractual dispute, and Jim Irsay, the general manager of the Colts, indicates that they are no nearer an agreement. Play action for Chandler. Gaining about 4 or 5 and a late flag. T.J. Turner made the stop, and we may have some roughing here.
Personal foul, piling on. Number 97, 15 yards, and a first down.
Well, Chandler made a big play. Got some help from John Bosa, but he did indeed.
Well, sometimes there are players that they will look the other way on a play like this, but if it's the quarterback and you hit him late, they're going to hit you with a personal foul. Watch number 17, Chandler, and Bosa comes along and is going to just make sure he knows he's there, but you can't do that, John. A little bit too much running by Chandler.
I don't think there's any question he's scrambling to run with the ball and not to buy time to throw it. At the 39-yard line of Miami. Dickerson, the lone setback. Chandler has an open receiver. Brooks inside the 30. That will be good enough for another Indianapolis first down, but a penalty marker is also down. William Judson with the coverage. And so to 31 goes the streak of Bill Brooks.
Defense, number 97, offside, penalty refused, first down.
Who has caught a pass in every game that he has played in the NFL.
And note what they're doing with Chandler. It's a quick set. They're throwing the kinds of passes that will ensure good protection and that Chandler can get rid of the football very quickly. Outside pattern, you see the strength of Chandler's arm. Brooks takes a good hit, but he maintains possession.
From the Miami 27, Dickerson. Just carries tacklers down near the 21-yard line. Offerdahl went for a ride. And again, our 10-minute ticker keeping you up to date with scores around the NFL. No change in Buffalo. Barr's field goal got Cleveland on the board a few moments ago against Cincinnati. Houston, Rozier has a touchdown run there. Full with the touchdown for Green Bay. And Dallas still leads Atlanta. Tampa gets a field goal. 13 and a half minutes to play first half. Miami leading Indianapolis 7-3. The Colts again on the march. Dickerson breaking tackles. In the grasp of the rookie Jarvis Williams. Still got 3 or 4 more, Reggie.
Dickerson is playing possessed. He has good decision-making processes when he enters the line of scrimmage. He knows where the holes are, and he has very, very quick feet in terms of getting in. That's Tom Olivadotti, one of the defensive coaches of the Miami Dolphins, trying to figure out a way to stop Dickerson.
Eric now 9 carries, 37 yards. He had a most unfortunate circumstance. While the rest of us were watching him on Monday Night Football in Cleveland, they got the first down. Somebody was burglarizing Eric's home back here in Indianapolis, got off with a $2,000 ring, a gold bracelet, a video cassette recorder. Isn't that a shame?
I had that happened to me one year, too. We were playing the Miami Dolphins, as a matter of fact, and I was playing with New England. Playing at the game, returned home, door was open, everything gone.
My goodness. Dickerson got the first down at the 17-yard line. Colts have 7 first downs already. In fact, 7-3 is the count in first downs. It's also 7-3 on the scoreboard, but Miami leads it in points. Chandler dropped the snap, and I think Indianapolis got it back. Brian Baldinger, number 62, is a man who fell on the loose football.
You usually will see this when you have a rookie quarterback or any new quarterback working with the regular center. In practice during the week, quarterbacks who play second and third string don't get a chance to exchange snaps with Donaldson.
Second down 11. The ball now at the 22-yard line. Chandler has time. Goes to a secondary target. It was intended for Albert Bentley and then almost intercepted on the deflection.
They're saying it was.
Now they're going to give it to Miami.
I'm not so sure. Replay is going to have to factor here because this is a play which involves touching and possession.
Jarvis Williams is the man who has been given, but as you can see perhaps, or will in a moment, the officials are huddling in the end zone.
I don't think it's a catch.
No, they're not going to give it to him. No need to even go upstairs.
Right. Watch the play here. Chandler gets extremely fine protection. He fakes once. He comes right back over the middle. This is a perfectly thrown pass. Albert Bentley should have had this ball. You can see the ball touching the turf right there as Jarvis Williams tries to go for it. And Don Shula puts up no argument.
Lifford Hopley actually was the man who touched it, kept it alive for Jarvis Williams. But it's ruled no catch. Third down 11 now. Chandler 2 for 4, 24 yards here in the first half.
And you don't build a young quarterback's confidence if you drop passes on him.
Almost ran out of time on the 45-second clock. Fakes one way and then had a man wide open and threw it in behind Clarence for Dan, and he was wide open. And Chandler knows that he missed it.
Chandler tried to throw the football with his arm only, and that's why he threw that pass badly. Had he reset himself and lead stepped with his left foot, he would have been much more accurate. But, of course, that's part of the learning process here.
So Ron Stark will again hold for a Dean Biasucci field goal attempt. This will be an attempt at 34 yards as they spot the ball at the 24-yard line. Biasucci's kick is up and just gets over the crossbar. But there's no room for explanation on the scoreboard. He got the 3 points. So Biasucci has converted 2 excellent Colt drives. They'd rather have the touchdowns, but they have the field goals instead.
There's no slowing down with a Silver Bullet. It's the right beer now. By the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. And by Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
And so following the 34-yard field goal by Dean Biasucci to make it a 7-6 Miami lead, the Dolphins now will accept this kickoff from Kerry Brady. Jarvis Williams, 26. Scott Schwade's 81 in the deep receiving spots. Williams at the 7. The rookie from Florida trying to get outside and spins it up at the 25 and is pushed backward. But a penalty marker is down. We mentioned that our referee here is Gene Barth, and you've seen him a couple of times. The rest of this officiating crew includes the head linesman Frank Glover, the line judge Ray Dodez, the back judge Bruce Moore.
Illegal block in the back, number 34. During the run back, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Side judge is Gerald Austin, the field judge Ed Merrifield, and that's the rest of your officiating crew today. Bobby Brister has sneaked in from a yard out. The Steelers are on the board at Buffalo. Houston still leading Minnesota. Green Bay hanging on to that lead over the Bears. Steve Pallure with a touchdown pass, and Danny Noonan a pass interception. Dallas leads Atlanta. The Dolphins now will have to begin at their own 15-yard line. Lorenzo Hampton. So he has come back from that injury on the touchdown reception. Obviously, the hamstring injury was not serious enough to keep him out, although he limped into the end zone.
The Dolphins have to find a way to stay on the field longer. Dan Marino isn't getting enough opportunities. He, too, like Eric Dickerson, has to have opportunities to throw the football. They've had poor field position. They haven't made a lot of yardage on first down. It has hampered Dan Marino's play calling ability.
And, Reggie, just to elaborate on that point, in 3 games, they have had only 53 snaps, 44 snaps, and 54 snaps offensively. The average in the NFL is about 65 or 70 offensive snaps a game. They're just not giving Marino and the offense enough time. Hampton, he's into the secondary and gets the first down at the 28-yard line. Gail Sierens now with an update for us from NFL Live in New York.
In Houston, the Oilers with a 14-6 lead over New England. Cody Carlson, a short screen pass to Alan Pinkett. He does the rest of the work, faking out Raymond Claiborne. 51 yards in all. Houston out in front, 14-6 in the second. Back to Indianapolis.
Okay, here it is, first down and 10 to go now for Miami from the 35-yard line.
And the Dolphins have 2 injured halfbacks. But Hampton is hurting, and Stratford didn't start the game because he's hurting.
Marino, quick release out to Davenport. For just a couple of yards, Fred Young with a good defensive play. And that's the beauty of having Young, the guy who's got the same kind of speed as the running back coming out of the backfield.
You're right. And we may see the Dolphins utilize Davenport a little more than they had anticipated in this ball game, because with Hampton hurting and Stratford hurting, there's no one really to play the halfback position. And that's a very important part of the Miami offense. The halfback has to be able to do a multitude of things, including catch Dan Marino passes out of the backfield.
Second down and 7. Stratford is back in there for Hampton. 7-6 Miami. 9:29 to go here in the second quarter. Marino is sacked and a flag is down. Byron Darby just muscling his way through the center of the line. And the penalty indication is holding against the Dolphins.
Did you see how jubilant the Colts rushes were? Sacking Marino is like sneaking into the White House.
See one offense, penalty refused, third down.
Before that, they had allowed the second fewest sacks in the NFL, only 3 coming into this game.
The man gets foolproof protection most of the time. You see Byron Darby, number 72, splitting 2 blockers, and that you just don't see. Comes right between Foster and Dellenbach, and I'm sure Don Shula is unhappy with that, because he wants Dan Marino's jersey to remain clean.
And you're right about that. It doesn't happen very often. 3rd and 14, and this capacity crowd of better than 60,000 is alive. Marino had to hurry, threw it right into the hands of the defensive back, Freddie Robinson, the strong safety out of Alabama. And last week, Marino threw 2 interceptions and had 2 drops on interceptions. So he could very well have been picked off 4 times.
Excuse me. Pressure causes interceptions. Dan Marino is under unaccustomed pressure here. Watch Pickett, number 50, coming from this side, gets around Ronnie Lee, pushes Lee right back into Marino. Ezra Johnson coming from the other side.
Reggie Roby with another punt to Verdun, back to the 20-yard line. Trying to reverse his field. They got him this time, and down he goes back inside the 15. Jim Jensen was there, along with number 80, Farrell Edmonds, the tight end out of Maryland, their number 3 draft choice, and they dropped it back at the 17-yard line. 54 yards on the punt. They lose 3 on the return. We'll be back. What you need to know, 8:35 to go here, second quarter. The Colts have the ball back, trailing 7-6. To suggest this game is critical might be a little melodramatic. However, you should know that teams that begin 0-3 only make the playoffs 3% of the time. 0-4, I don't think they can even calculate that. They cannot afford to go 0-4. Dickerson. for a couple of yards across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. And the thing about the Indianapolis Colts, Reggie, is that they have mortgaged the future for the present. They don't have a first-round draft choice until 1991. In the trades for Dickerson and Young, they've got to win now, or this town and the crowds could perhaps turn on them.
Well, the Ursays have done just about what Ron Meyer has asked of them in terms of getting the players he thought could win here. And, of course, number 29 was a big factor in that kind of philosophy.
Gain of 3, second down at 7. Dickerson now splits out to the left. Bentley is a lone setback. Chandler looked at Dickerson. He's got Verdun and Brooks. He's got Verdun all alone, and then a great interception. Paul Langford came out of nowhere. It was 2 receivers in the same area and only 1 defensive back. Langford had Brooks and Verdun and came away with the football.
Only John Elway would attempt to do something like this and maybe get away with it. I thought Chandler probably should have held up on that pass. I think Bruce Conslett there that you saw Chandler talking to, probably a little bit unhappy with him throwing that pass. All right, now watch it here. The quarterback's going to run to his left. Extremely difficult to run to your left and then throw back to the right. He throws this football, folks, 65 yards in the air across his body. And, of course, Paul Langford had a chance to get there and intercept it.
Only the second interception by the Dolphins this season. William Judson has the other one. So the Dolphins get it back. 7:43 to play, second quarter. They lead 7-6. Farrell Edmonds stopped immediately by O'Brien Alston. Boy, he is a rambunctious young man, isn't he?
He certainly is. Alston plays that position very well for a rookie. He has great lateral pursuit, and he's tall, and he's got athleticism. But one of the problems here with Miami is that they aren't getting into their vertical game. They're not stretching the Colts defense. They must make the Colt linebackers move back away. Since the first drive, the Colts have come up toward the line of scrimmage. If I were Marino, I would start looking for either Duper or Clayton.
The Shulas, David on your left, Father Donald on the right. Second down and 8. That's Edmonds, the big tight end in motion. That's Davenport. Great support over there. Wayne Bickett was the first one, but the strong safety, number 47, Fred Robinson, was there to put him away. Excellent run support by Indianapolis. A gain of just a couple. Third down and 6 now for Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins, leading 7-6 on a moving clock here. 6.5 minutes to play. First half.
Dan Marino, in terms of getting the football down the field,
his longest attempt thus far today has been 24 yards. Moving pocket, throws back to Pruitt, who drops the ball. It is ruled incomplete in the neighborhood of the 32-yard line. That will not be a touchdown. It'll come back to the 32-yard. Well, actually, it'll go back to the line of scrimmage. The official rules an incomplete pass, and my, oh my, has James Pruitt had problems.
James Pruitt is an extremely talented athlete. The Dolphins like him a lot, but if he continues to drop passes the way he's been dropping them, he's going to have to start looking for something else to do. There it is. Great pass by Marino, right to him. He could have caught that ball, picked up a first down. He drops the football.
He has dropped 3 passes already this season, and 1 touchdown was taken away when he collided at the goal line against Green Bay last Sunday and lost that one.
See, what happens if you start getting a reputation around the league that you can't catch the football and you're a wide receiver? I mean, you know, that's your job description.
Reset the clock to 30 seconds. Reset to 30.
Reggie, you played the position for so many years. Is this a lack of concentration? Is this afraid of being hit? What is it? Combination of everything?
I think it starts upstairs. You know, if you have success in this league, it has a continuous kind of momentum building effect on you that you want to do things and you do things well. On the other hand, if you start doing things negatively, that can build upon you too.
Roby, 54 and 56-yard punts earlier. This is a dandy, and Verdun with a fair catch at the 21-yard line. And that's where Indianapolis will put the ball in play. Only 49 yards by Reggie Roby, who is in rare form today. 5:59 to go, second quarter. We'll be back. Rucker back at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis. The Miami offense, despite leading here 7-6, has not held the ball for more than 6 plays in any of their 5 possessions. Indianapolis, on the other hand, has had considerably more snaps, has had to settle for 2 field goals, however. They begin now at their own 22-yard line with a rookie Chris Chandler, quarterback, and Dickerson. Isn't he something?
What a sweet, sweet move that was. That's a misdirection play to begin with. It appeared that Dickerson was going to go to the left, and then he did a skip move and came back and almost picked up a first down.
And again, the NBC NFL 10-minute ticker checking scores around the NFL. Lots of games in progress. Buffalo adds a field goal to their lead. Cody Carlson with a touchdown pass for Houston. Dallas hanging on, and New Orleans by a 7 over Tampa Bay. Here it is 7-6. Miami leading the winless Indianapolis Colts. Second down, less than a yard. Dickerson, the first down and a wee bit more. Pushed back. Brian Soche, the nose tackle, now in his 6th year out of Northwest Oklahoma State.
As you watch the Dolphins begin to zero in on Eric Dickerson, the thing that I would probably do if I were Chris Chandler and the Colts is that as they come closer to the line of scrimmage, I would use the play-action pass with a fake to Dickerson and try to get the ball deep, particularly if Verdun is in the ball game. Now, Verdun isn't in there. They have the slower Matt Boozer at wide receiver.
Even when they had Jack Trudeau and Gary Hogaboom, the Indianapolis Colts were only averaging 245 yards of total offense per game. They're doing better than that today, I can tell you. Dickerson on the swing pass. Out at the 40. A good play for the rookie Chandler, something that can build his confidence.
And I asked Eric Dickerson yesterday in a conversation in the Colts locker room, why don't they throw the football to you more? He said, well, if they do, it's usually on first down, but at the same time, that's usually when they like me to run the football too. But this is just like a sweep. It's an easy pass for Chandler to throw. It gives him a completion. It builds his confidence, and it also gets Eric Dickerson out in the open field.
Hugh Green coming up to make the stop. Hugh Green was just the most pleasant thing that happened to the Dolphins this training camp and preseason. Don Shula thought he had made a pretty bad deal with Tampa Bay, but is very pleased with the way Green has come back. Second down and 3, Indianapolis, just across their 40. Albert Bentley with a carry. He'll be close to a first down as Soche and Mark Brown combine to make the stop up around the 43-yard line. That will be close to a Colts first down. It is. No measurement necessary.
And you notice what they do when they bring Bentley in, particularly in that situation, is they're giving Eric Dickerson a rest on the field. But they don't take him out of the game because if you put Dickerson even out on the flanks, the defense has to commit coverage to him.
Mr. Chandler doing so far, Reggie?
I think he's making a very good account of himself.
3:52 to go on a turning clock. First and 10, Indianapolis, trailing by 1. Plenty of time, then dumps it off, and it was almost caught by Ray Donaldson, the center, and indeed, the flag dropped immediately. Why did Ray even reach for it?
Well, it's something that offensive linemen should know. You cannot even touch a football thrown. He is an ineligible receiver.
That's number 53 and ineligible. The penalty for that is just loss of down. Second down.
No harm.
This used to be a much harsher penalty because you would get penalized and lose the down. They softened the foul somewhat now by just losing the down.
The pass was intended for Eric Dickerson. You could see him in his picture, but Chandler was hit as he delivered the football. You know, speaking of Donaldson, we don't get a lot of chances to talk about centers. He has been a rock through all of this misfortune.
Probably the best in the game now that Dwight Stevenson is no longer playing.
Second and 10. No damage to the Colts. Chandler, the reverse. Verdun gets outside, jumps a tackler, and gets the first down. Mr. Excitement, Clarence Verdun.
That play shouldn't work twice in one ball game. 14-yard play by Verdun. This just shouldn't work twice. Watch. It's the fake to Dickerson once again. He hands off to Verdun, coming back the other way. Once again, look at all the blue shirts out blocking. Even number 17, Chris Chandler, the quarterback, although he didn't hit anybody. And I think that's wise of him.
Clarence made his first start for the Colts Monday night in Cleveland and has become an instant hero here. The Colts only gave up a 6th-round draft choice to Washington to get him. Bentley. That'll be close to another Indianapolis first down at about the 32-yard line. He was dragged out by the rookie Jarvis Williams, but the Colts are on the move again.
Let's take another look at that reverse by Verdun. He seems to spark this offense. Here it is again. Everybody goes with Dickerson because they think it's a sweep. Now watch the move that Verdun makes right here. That's that open field running ability, and that's what you do when you put a receiver on the corner that quickly.
A reminder to our viewers, we will be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. 3.5 minutes to go first half. Colts on the march for the third time in this game. They trail 7-6. Dickerson.
Oh, wow.
Well, he could stop on a dime. His first option was absolutely shut down. He stopped on a dime and made 2 or 3 on the carry as we jump through the 10-minute ticker one more time. That page is pretty much the same. Nearing halftime in all of those games. Houston leading New England. I don't see any glaring upsets today. Atlanta coming back at Dallas after beating San Francisco last week. And the pennant races, the Red Sox trying to put the Yankees away. Oakland, Milwaukee later on. 2nd and 7. Randy Dixon. That'll cost him 5.
False start, number 69 offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
We've alluded to the problems on that offensive line. There is some positive to be taken out of it, the fact that guys like Dixon get a chance to play and develop.
Yeah, but you'd rather have those all-pros that were so responsible for the success the Colts had last year. They're the people that are playing right now. Matt Dixon and Baldwin.
I referenced that earlier today. Those are their starts combined, 13 NFL starts between the 3 of them. 2nd and 12. Chandler has a man wide open. His big tight end, Mark Boyer, number 84, the 4th-year pro out of USC, who, by the way, is the emergency quarterback should Chandler and Hogaboom go down.
Well, Chandler is showing me some patience that's uncommon in a young player. This is Chandler's first start, remember. He did get into the football game in the 4th quarter against the Browns Monday night, but this is his first opportunity to start. He's looking at the defense well, and he's delivering the ball to the people that it should go to.
And we've reached the 2-minute warning, so Chandler now has a chance to talk about it on 3rd and 4. It's still a 7-6 Miami lead from the Hoosier Dome. Indianapolis dominating the offensive possession of the football. This is the 10th play of this drive, and almost 2-1 they've had the football over Miami here in the first half. And in yards, 187 total yards for the Colts, who only averaged 245 through an entire game. But they still trail 7-6. 3rd down and 4. Dickerson did not get the first down. Good defensive play by number 24, Renee Thompson, who came in to assist on the tackle. Jarvis Williams was there as well. And it brings around 4th down, and for the 3rd time today, the Colts will have to settle for a Biasucci attempt.
I think Dickerson rushed that play just a little bit. That was a late opening hole. It looked pretty good from here, but Dickerson rushed the block, ran up on Bentley, and he tripped in the hole, and he didn't get the first down.
So Ron Stark will kneel right on the 32-yard line. Biasucci will attempt a 42-yard field goal. The placement got his leg into it. He's having quite a day. Dean Biasucci, the 4th-year kicker out of Western Carolina, injuries and all, an arthritic hip. The young man has given the Colts a 9-7 lead here at the Hoosier Dome. 1:08 left in the half. We'll be back. Brady will tee the ball up at the 35-yard line, but Biasucci has done the job today, hasn't he?
Oh, it was Biasucci's finest year in 1987. He was all-pro, and in 1987, he was 24 of 27. What a percentage. And, of course, he's 3 of 3 today. He's from Miramar, Florida. As a matter of fact, I think he lives 1 mile
from Joe Robbie Stadium. So this is a distinct pleasure for him, I can assure you. Schwade's back there, and Scott fields the ball at the 3-yard line. Weaving in and out of traffic goes down at about the 18 or 19-yard line. Jarvis Williams was not back to return the kick. He went out on the last play slightly injured. So let's see what's happened here. Let's check our report card for the first half. Dan Marino, a magnificent drive. First time he had the ball, and zilch since then.
That's not enough for Marino. Marino has to make big plays in the passing game. They are not giving him time to throw the football.
The vertical game is what you talk about, up and down the field. They went up and down the field with a brilliantly executed 80-yard drive. On the other hand, Chandler, respectable, throwing limitedly. Dickerson has done what he does best.
And what a weapon having Dean Biasucci to kick those field goals when you have to have them.
From the 19-yard line, the Colts now in a prevent defense with 6 defensive backs. Of course, they got the great outside backers in Bickett and Young. Jensen just turned around in time to grab it. And a first down up around the 32-yard line. The incredible thing about Jim Jensen, he's caught 8 balls so far this year, and now 4 of them have gone for first downs. That was 14 yards. Hurry up offense for Marino. And he got knocked down, and he does not like the taste of the ground very well, I'll tell you. Mark Duper, the intended receiver, but Harvey Armstrong knocked Marino down.
We were talking to Donnell Thompson of the Colts yesterday, and he was saying when you play Marino, the one thing you want to do is get in his face and get in it as quickly as you can, and that means getting off the line of scrimmage. As you watch the Colt defenders, the thing that they're doing, they're getting a good, quick jump at the line of scrimmage. Now, Marino, in order to counteract that, might change his cadence. He might go on 3 maybe instead of 2, and he probably can get some offsides calls against the Colts.
Second down and 10. The ball at the 34 of Miami. Danny looks downfield. Great pass to Duper. First down into Colts territory. First catch of the day for Super Duper. Eugene Daniel is the man who made the stop. We had been told that the cornerbacks of the Colts were vulnerable. They had not played particularly well this year. And that's really the first exploitation of that corner situation since early on.
This is the way you get to the vertical game. Watch Duper coming at the right of the screen, number 85, coming back across the field. Good throw by Marino, gets him right up around the letters. Duper ensures the catch. And that catch took Mark Duper over 5,000 career yards.
He needed but 13 today, and that one traveled 19 yards. Mark Duper already the second leading receiver in the history of the Dolphins to Nat Moore.
This is why Marino is so dangerous. The Colts are playing a good game. They're keeping the football. They're getting Dickerson into the game plan. Biasucci's having a good day. Yet, the Dolphins, in a couple of quick passes, can put themselves ahead in this ball game. That's the danger of an explosive passing attack like the Dolphins have.
Had a glimpse of Ron Meyer on the sideline from the 48-yard line now of Indianapolis. Marino operating from the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers. Clayton, Swady, Pruitt, Duper. He wants it all to Pruitt. Almost intercepted. Mike Pryor, number 39, the free safety, came over and almost intercepted the ball.
But that's what the Dolphins want to do. They want to stretch the defense. They want to throw some bombs. They want to make the defensive secondary recognize that we have the on-top speed. Pruitt, number 82, great speed, tall, 6'3". Ball just isn't out there far enough for Pruitt this time.
Clock stop with 26 seconds left here in the half. 9-7 Indianapolis. Miami scored the first time they touched the football. They won 80 yards, a 39-yard touchdown pass to Lorenzo Hampton. They haven't done a thing since then. Over the middle, Clayton overthrown. Intended for Mark Clayton. Third down and 10 now for Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
Marino is wondering how far off was that pass. Looked pretty good. Clayton seemed to be running free in the middle of the field, but that's what's been going wrong in 1988. They haven't had that sync, that coordination that they've been accustomed to. Marino, 8 of 16, 115 yards and 1 touchdown.
And in talking with Danny yesterday, he wants to make the point that Jeff Dallenbach has done a wonderful job. But there's no question, he says, I missed Dwight Stevenson. And who wouldn't?
Well, he's probably the greatest to ever play the position. So quick, so smart, makes all the calls along the line of scrimmage.
Third and 10. Got to get the first down. Who does he go to but Jensen, although a flag is down in the backfield. And that generally means offensive holding. But Jensen with another clutch catch that would be the first down, but it's coming back.
number 72. 10-yard penalty, still third down.
So Ronnie Lee, the 10-year veteran out of Baylor. Miami has yet to convert a third down in this football game. They are 0 for 4.
And that's why it's difficult to run this business this way. You can't have drop passes, penalties, missed assignments, missed blocks, and all those things in the same drive and expect to win football games.
3rd and 20 at the Miami 42-yard line. 16 seconds left in the half. The Dolphins trail 9-7. Knocked it out of his hands. Ezra Johnson, and the Colts have it. Ezra Johnson knocked the ball out of Danny Marino's hands. Harvey Armstrong recovered, and the Colts have 10 seconds.
Coming from the right side, you see number 90, Ezra Johnson. Here's the problem there. John Giesler was playing left tackle that time. Giesler only in camp a short while. I think this is his first action of the year.
Played a little bit last week against Green Bay, but very little, Reggie.
But very rusty, and of course, Ezra Johnson is a speed defender, and he got around Giesler that time.
They got time for one play in the attempt by Biasucci. Would like to move him in about 10 or 15 here. Nope, they give it to Dickerson, and he stopped at the 34-yard line. Brian Soche is the man who made the stop, and immediately the Colts called timeout with 6 seconds to play. Not a bad call on the surface, but it didn't work.
And you're talking about a 51-yard field goal attempt here. I think that's well within the reach of Dean Biasucci.
He had a 50-yarder to start this game, and as we mentioned, the only miss he's had this year, and he is now 6 out of 7, is a 57-yarder that hit the crossbar. So it's obviously within his range.
And I agree with the strategy of Ron Meyer here. Give Dickerson and the offense one shot, and give Biasucci an opportunity to get 3 more points for you. He's having a great day. He's an outstanding kicker. Why not?
This is remarkable to me. We were told he has a sore leg, bursitis in his hip. The guy's already got a 50-yarder, and he's going for a 51 here to end the half. Ron Stark again will hold. Good snap. Has he got enough leg? Yes! What a way to end, and 51 yards, and the Colts have come from 7-0 down.
Sometimes they don't look like football players, they don't play positions, and they don't have any of the attributes of some of the great athletes on the field. But I can't tell you of any other athlete who can make more impact on a football game than a place kicker.
He's a happy young man. NFL Live halftime activities will continue in a moment. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
His name is John.
John. More optimistic about the second half of the game. And back to your original comments, Reggie, when we talked about this football game. You felt he would perform admirably in light of the fact he didn't have a lot of time to think and be nervous about it this week. And I guess so far it's pretty well panned out.
There's so much work to do in getting ready for a football game, and for a rookie, he doesn't have the experience to fall back on, so he has to do all of the things that takes up a lot of time during the week. You see Dan Marino not having a very good first half because he doesn't have the benefit of a running attack. And I will repeat, you have to be able to run the football before you can throw it.
And this second half kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Quad Reves will do the kicking off for Miami. Indianapolis will have the football to start the second half. And Albert Bentley, who, as Reggie pointed out, led the AFC in total yardage last year, was second only to Herschel Walker in the NFL, a yard deep in the end zone. And Bob Brzezinski, the veteran from Ohio State, is the man who made the stop, a young man who lost his starting spot but has performed admirably on all the special teams.
And the Colts have very good special teams. As a matter of fact, whenever you can hold Bentley to a return inside the 20, you've done a magnificent job.
So Mr. Chandler, 5 out of 10 throwing the football. Modest statistics at that, but that's all they want out of him. Just don't hurt the club. I imagine don't lose the game is all they're thinking. From the 18-yard line, Eric Dickerson, the lone setback behind Chandler. Outside Johnson, and out of bounds on the near sideline at about the 25-yard line. Run out by Offerdahl and Lifford Hobley. Gain of about 7 on the carry. It'll be second down and short now for the Indianapolis Colts, who want nothing better than to keep Chandler in that second and third and short situations.
That's what's frustrating about Dickerson. He's big enough and strong enough to run the ball up inside, but then when he gets on that outside, he'll pick up 8-9 yards on you and then run out of bounds, and you don't even get a chance to hit him.
Eric Dickerson today trying to tie Franco Harris for the third most amount of 100-yard games. He has 46, one shy of Franco's 47. And that's third all time. Dickerson for a few more. And very close to a Colts first down. Brian Soche, who's played a very good game on the nose, again making the stop.
And they're going right back to the game plan, which is featuring Dickerson. Let Dickerson shoulder the weight. Heck, he makes $1.5 million a year. He's the guy that should be able to handle this, and certainly he can. But what they're doing here is that they're giving their quarterback an opportunity to really develop his game plan, take the pressure away from him, very short. And that's what Miami doesn't have.
It dawns on me in thinking about this Miami defense, I don't believe I've called Rick Graff's number today, number 99, the left outside linebacker, and he has been the one sore spot. They think he's going to be brilliant someday. He just hasn't done a great deal yet. And Don Shula is very anxious for this youngster to develop. He's got all the tools. Great size, 6'5", 249.
Here is where Dickerson is dangerous. You have to be very careful in a short yardage situation that you don't commit too many people to the line trying to stop that short one, and Dickerson gets away for 60 on you.
3 tight ends, Beach, Boyer, and Brandis on 3rd and inches. Dickerson for the first down, falls across the 30 to about the 31 or 32-yard line. So the Colts again sustaining a drive and keeping that Miami defense on the field time after time. And while we don't have an official stat on snaps today, you just know by watching this game that Indianapolis has had it for twice as many.
Well, I think the difference in the ball game has been the patchwork offensive line of the Colts outplaying the offensive line of the Dolphins. The Dolphins line is not performing well, and they're not giving Marino the time he needs. And of course, the Colts offensive lineman giving Dickerson running room.
Good to have you with us in Indianapolis. 12-7, the Colts on 4 Dean Biasucci field goals. Miami has done nothing from the opening drive. Bentley for a couple of yards. Although I would hasten to point out that Miami's best starting position in the first half when they had the ball was their own 22-yard line. So the Colts drove the ball up and down the field, and had it not been for Miami's defense stiffening deep in its own end, this could be a much larger margin for the Colts.
And had they not had Reggie Roby, who made some great punts, it may even be worse.
Absolutely, Reggie. 2nd and 6. Bentley is split wide to the left. Out of your picture at the bottom of the screen. Again, Dickerson, the lone setback behind that patched-up offensive line. Chandler, a quick out. Brooks, a first down and out of bounds at the 45. So they're picking their spots to throw the football. Langford had the coverage and made the stop, but a very effective use of the short passing game by Chandler.
And when Chandler picks his spots to throw, it's the short pass variety. He takes a 3-step drop, he gets rid of the football, it's a safe pass, it's a first down, and they continue to move the sticks.
If you joined us late, number 17 making his first National Football League start. Before today, he had thrown a total of 8 passes in the NFL, completing only 3 of them. No touchdowns, 1 interception. That came Monday night. And what an awful spot to be thrown into it. When Trudeau went down in Cleveland, he bobbled that snap. Trying to make something happen. He's got Verdun! Dropped the football! Woo-wee! picture's worth 10,000 words.
Change that to a rocket. This guy does not have a pistol or a gun. He has a rocket. Beautiful pass. Look at him. Look at the maturity. Watch this now. He bobbles the snap, gets it back, has the presence of mind to recover. Look at the throw he makes to Verdun. Oh, man, you can't have it any better than that.
Second down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Bentley in motion. On the delay to Dickerson. Nothing doing. Miami again stacking it up with Brian Soche in the middle of the line. Playing an outstanding ball game.
We should say with regard to Chris Chandler, the rookie quarterback, that Ron Meyer intimated to us, Sam, yesterday that this may not be just a Band-Aid measure here. This fella, this could be his job to keep for the next 12, 13 years.
Absolutely.
They think that highly of Chandler.
I think as you put it when we walked out of the meeting, he has everything to gain and nothing to lose.
That's right. The old Leon Spinks mentality. I ain't got nothing to lose.
Third down and 9 for Chandler, just across his own 46-yard line. Colts lead at 12-7. Got some pressure. What can I say about Soche? Been the best defensive player on the field today. He's a one-man gang out there, and the flag is down. And again in the area where they normally call offensive holding.
Illegal use of the hands, number 62 offense. Penalty refused. Fourth down.
Is it any wonder Mr. Baldinger has got his hands full with Soche? So the call on Ron Stark now to kick, and I believe this is Stark's first punt of the day, is it not? It is.
All right, let's watch Soche coming from the left of your screen. Just powers past Joel Patton, number 65, pushing Patton right back into the quarterback's lap and making the play. Soche, the Dolphins liked him. They picked him up from the Houston Oilers, or he played for the Houston Oilers, and he has really been a prize find for the Oilers. Excuse me, for the Dolphins.
Scott Schwade's in single safety. First punt by Stark, the left-footed punter. Drives Schwade's back. He lets it go over his head, and it gets into the end zone for the touchback. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line, and Dan Marino continues to have the awful field position. 65 yards on the punt by Stark, and again, Mr. Marino and the offense begin at about the 20-yard line. From any better field position than its own 22-yard line. This one begins at the 20 with Woody Bennett for a couple.
And the Dolphins just aren't getting any appreciable yardage on first down. And that hurts Marino, because if you don't pick up any yardage on first down, the Colts are going to play the situation substitutions, double up a lot of people, and you're going to have a tough time moving the football.
John Hand and Barry Krause make the stop as we take a look at the 10-minute ticker. Philadelphia, Randall Cunningham touchdown pass. Atlanta's gone on top of Dallas. What's happened to the Falcons? We'll get you the rest in a moment. Hang in there. Second down and 8. Davenport picks his way for the first down. Nice piece of running by Ron Davenport, the four-year running back out of Louisville. At 6'2", 232, gets the first down. And as Reggie pointed out at halftime, this club hasn't run the ball at all, and they've got to start moving.
And they've got two fullbacks in the ball game because both halfbacks are hobbling. That time, Davenport gave them a real breath of fresh air there by making that run right through the middle of the defense and picking up a first down.
From the 32. Now Troy Stratford joins Woody Bennett in the backfield. Farrell Edmonds, the rookie tight end, has caught but one pass, and here's Stratford. Across the 35, short yardage. Fred Young is the man who made the stop. Boy, they got to feel good about that linebacking core. When you got Dwayne Bickett and Fred Young to protect your corners on the outside, you are in good shape.
But we're not seeing the real Fred Young yet. Fred Young suffering from some rust. I mean, he hasn't played since early in January consistently. Now, he got some action last week, and he's beginning to play more and more each week. But we're not going to see the real Fred Young until he knows the system.
Second down and 6. Miami 36. Marino threw it right into the arms of Pryor. Out of bounds at the 40 of Miami. And he didn't mess up with a rookie that time. It was intended for number 83, I believe, Mark Clayton, and somebody ran the wrong route.
The key to the game for the Colts is pressure. They are getting pressure on Marino relentlessly. I don't care who you are. You could be Sammy Baugh, Otto Graham, and all the rest. But if you've got pressure in your face, you can't throw the football. Watch it here. Left side of your screen. Once again, Dan is feeling it. And I think he expected Duper to come back to the middle of the field on an option pattern. And he released that football to Mike Pryor. Probably should not have thrown that football.
First interception of the year from Mike Pryor, third by the Colts. And the offense of Miami starting to come unglued. And here's Dickerson. And a flag is down at the 40-yard line. You know, when that happens with James Pruitt or Schwades, you can understand it. When Mark Clayton and Dan Marino cross signals and Marino throws a fly and Clayton runs a sideline, there's got to be something wrong here, Reggie.
That's what happens when you have option passing patterns in which the receiver and the quarterback determine what's going to happen based on what they see.
Illegal motion, 62 offense. 5-yard penalty. We'll replay the first down.
And they both have to see the same thing. The play doesn't have to be called in the huddle. They just run against what they see. Now here is Clayton breaking outside. Marino thought he was going to go inside. It can happen.
It did. At the 44 of Miami, the Colts now with a golden opportunity.
And pardon me, I may have said Duper the first time.
You wouldn't be the first one to confuse the two. First and 15 after the penalty against Indianapolis. Chandler, man wide open, and he overthrew him, intended for his tight end, Pat Beach, and he threw it too high and too long.
And that's the old tip drill. Beach knows if he doesn't touch that ball, there's probably somebody behind him waiting to intercept that ball. So Beach got a hand on that ball and avoided the interception.
Incidentally, good news from Miami. Jarvis Williams, the rookie out of Florida, back in the lineup after having limped off near the end of the first half. So he's playing, but Miami's getting beaten up here.
But, you know, through it all, the Miami defense has played rock solid. They are having a very good game. You know, the offense isn't moving the football. They're putting their defense in some treacherous field position, and yet, time after time, the Miami defense is coming up with big plays. I think they're maturing.
The old rubber band defense, they've bent a little bit in the middle, but they haven't busted yet. Here's Chandler. And he hasn't been able to find much there. Ron Meyer was excited about the prospect that if he got in some trouble, he could make something happen. He's had to scramble 3 or 4 times today, has yet to really make a big play.
Chris Chandler, young man, I'm going to give you some advice. They have a rule that for quarterbacks, if you slide feet first, they won't hurt you. You better start learning how to do that, because there isn't a running quarterback today in the Hall of Fame. They all are great passers.
I hadn't noted that. 8:20 to go, third quarter. The Colts lead it here. 12-7 to score. They have not been able to get the ball in the end zone, but Dean Biasucci has put 12 points on the board for them. 4 receivers: Verdon, Booza, Brooks, and Mark Bellini. Dickerson the lone setback. Chandler, Brooks, shy of the first down. Paul Langford with the coverage. Chandler's got some busy feet out there, Reggie. I mean, he's dancing around a lot. He's just not settling comfortably in the pocket.
That was a smart play, because Chandler had a chance to do some other things, but he took the underneath receiver, knowing the success Biasucci has had today. He's got a hot kicker. He just wanted to get enough yardage to give this man a chance to kick another field goal. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the same spot on the field in which he kicked the field goal in the first half.
It is identical. Ron Stark kneels just shy of the 42-yard line. If he makes it, he'll get credit for 51.
They're going to try to block this, and I think they're going to come right up the middle. This would be a great spot for a fake.
Good snap. Biasucci from 51 yards. A little wide to the right and a hair short. So he's human after all. He was 4 for 4 going into this one, 3 out of 4 before today. Guy's had a remarkable season already. Colts lead at 12-7, and we'll be back. Join us on NBC Sports next Sunday. More exciting football action, 12:30 Eastern, NFL Live. Then the Buffalo Bills, who opened this season with 3 consecutive wins and lead today, battle Jim McMahon and the Monsters of the Midway, plus regional action. We invite you to check your local listings for the game in your area. I'll be out in L.A. with the Raiders and Bengals. Reggie, where will you be? Almost. Right into the hands of Barry Krause.
The game between Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Barry Krause got his hands on the ball. So Marino struggling today. He's 8 out of 18, 115 yards and the 1 touchdown, and of course 1 interception. And Miami hasn't helped him much with the rushing game. Only 47 yards on the ground to this point. 7 minutes to play third quarter, and the Dolphins find themselves trailing 12-7. You talk about teams needing victories. Of course, Indianapolis is winless, but the Dolphins are not off to any great shakes either at 1-2. Second sack of the day. Big John Hand, number 78. Only the 5th time this season Marino has been down.
There are all kinds of ways you can talk about how you stop great pass offenses, but the best way to stop one is get pressure on the quarterback and sacks if you can. John Hand, number 78, right side of your screen. Look at the power. Just pushing. Roy Foster, number 61, right back into the pocket. They collapse the pass pocket. Marino goes down again.
6 defensive backs on 3rd and 14, and Marino has not converted a 3rd down play yet. He's 0 for 5. He's got Duper. All you got to do is talk about it, and he does it. First down up around the 47-yard line, and a flag is down right at that point. But Duper with a great leaping catch, and Danny gunned that one.
That's only the second big play in the pass offense that Marino has had. He's had both of those with Duper. You have to have more big plays in this offense. Watch the bottom of your screen. Number 85, just a speed move here. He runs around the defender and gets up in there. Good height and extension. The concentration was what counted there. Chris Good, had the coverage, the second-year back out of Alabama. 17 yards and a discussion. As I mentioned, the flag still lies at the 47-yard line. And Gene Barth, the referee, now trying to unscramble it and tell us what it's all about. But Indianapolis is walking backwards.
5 yards face mask penalty on number 37 on the runner. 5 yards tacked on and a first down.
So the inadvertent face mask against Good on the tackle after Duper made the catch. Moves the ball into Colts territory at their 47.
In order to defeat the kind of defense that the Colts are playing, you have to look inside. The Colts are taking away deep passes and the outside routes. He's got to throw inside.
Davenport dives to the 40. About 7 yards on the carry. And so it's quite evident that Don Shula and offensive coordinator David Shula try to insert more of the running game as we check scores around the NFL very quickly for you. Cincinnati, Ickey Woods with 2 touchdowns there, leading your Browns.
Did you say your Browns?
Well, only because you played for them. You'd like to own them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure.
Red Sox now 3-0 on the Yankees. Try to put away that American League East. The only race still in doubt. 2nd and 3. Play action. Wide open. This time he and Duper are on exactly the same page. A first down at the 25-yard line, and now this looks like the Dan Marino offense on this drive.
Because one thing is happening. He's getting good protection now, and then Marino has an opportunity to read the defense. As I told you, I don't care who you are. If you don't have time, you can't make the completion. Now he reads the one-on-one over here. Eugene Daniel, number 38, giving Duper a lot of room, and you see Duper making a concerted effort to watch that ball into his hands. That's something that the Dolphins teach. Catch the football with your hands.
Mark Duper played only 2 years of college ball at Northwestern State in Louisiana. But as he blossomed as a pro. Again, number 79, John Giesler, and Reggie, you referenced that earlier, the fact that he came back last week after a long holdout.
Ball start, number 79 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Just a wee bit rusty.
But those are the kinds of things that destroy drives. And we talked about how penalties, missed assignments, missed blocks, missed passes, those things disrupt an offense. See, it's 1st and 15 now. It puts Marino in a jam again. He has to throw.
From the Colts 30-yard line, Dolphins need a touchdown here to take the lead. They trail 12-7. 5.5 minutes to play third quarter. They got him again. Dwayne Bickett, 4 years out of Southern California.
And as I said, if he has to throw, the Colts know he has to throw, so here they come. They get into their all-out rush. Bickett, number 50, the Pro Bowler, one of the outstanding linebackers in pro football, doing what he does best in passing situations, pressuring the passer.
Colts will use a 5-man alignment in passing situations very often, using Fred Young and Bickett, the outside linebackers, in a down position. Then they've got Thompson and John Hand and Ezra Johnson. They got 5 guys who can rush the passer. 3rd and 22. Clayton breaks a tackle and squirms inside the 25, but he'll be about 7 or 8 yards shy of the first down. The Indianapolis native with a good effort after he caught the ball, 13 yards on the play, but they're going to come up about 8 yards shy of the first.
Let's watch what the Dolphins do now to get away from the pressure. In ground level action, you're going to see Marino with the rollout. They're getting away from being in that pocket. Now he isn't in the same place that he's been all game long. That's a good decision by Clayton right there to turn that football upfield and get as much yardage as he could.
So it's 3rd down and 8. I believe I said it was 3rd down last down. It was 2nd and 22. Now it's 3rd down and 8.
You want to look for the one-on-one situations. He's going to have good protection.
Flag is down. Completes a pass to Stratford. He's tackled shy of the first down.
They're going to catch James Pruitt with illegal motion, number 82.
It's exactly what it is, and Marino can't believe it. Danny's quite disgusted out there, to say the least.
There's a breakdown of some kind on every play by the Dolphins.
Good defensive effort by Terry Wright to prevent Stratford from reaching the
Illegal
stick.
motion, 82 offense. He was going forward at the snap. Penalty refused. 4th down.
That's what I thought they'd do, because you don't want to give Marino another chance at 3rd down to throw the football. So they're going to allow them an opportunity to kick this thing here.
If they choose to do that, they've only got 4th and less than a yard. I think that's a strange decision to turn it down. A real strange decision. 4th and less than a yard. It would have been 3rd and 14. I can't believe they turned it down.
Interesting call. Remember it. 4th down and 1. 3:36 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Ron Meyer declining a 5-yard penalty that would have brought up 3rd and 14. It's now 4th and 1, and the Dolphins will go for it. Stratford.
Didn't make it.
Depends on the mark.
He didn't make it.
Well, it becomes a moot point. He didn't make it, is right. My, oh, my.
Sensational defensive effort by the Indianapolis Colts. Marino's thinking, man, oh, man, what do we have to do?
You had a brief glimpse of David Shula, the offensive coordinator, who called that play. We'll be back. Colts defense does the job. 3:20 to play, 3rd quarter, 12-7. Indianapolis leads it. And now Chris Chandler will have to begin very close to his own end zone at about the 16-yard line. Don Shula cannot be happy. Dickerson trying to get outside. Gains of about 2 or 3. I should mention, too, Reggie, I mentioned as we went to the break there, as we had the shot at David Shula, the offensive coordinator, that he calls the plays. I think we need to also add that nothing gets done on the field without Don Shula's knowledge and approval. That's the way it's been for all of the years of his glorious success. So lest we confuse you to think that this young man should take any unnecessary blame, I'm sure it was his suggestion. It might have been a joint venture deal also with his father. But nothing gets done out there without Don Shula's approval. 2nd down and 7. Dickerson again. Maybe a yard or 2. Offerdahl makes the stop. John continuing to perform brilliantly like he has year after year, game after game. His 3rd year now in the league from Western Michigan.
The Dolphins will have to ask their defense here to hold the Colts, because they have an opportunity to have outstanding field position for their offense, something that they haven't had a lot of today. And this is called transition defense. You want your defense really to shut them down right here. Don't let them pick up a 1st down. Get the football back in excellent field position.
Miami defense has done a great job on Dickerson. When you hold him to 3.5 yards a carry, when he's averaging about 4.7, you've done a job. But as Reggie said, he can break one at any time. Chandler downfield for Brooks and almost made a one-handed catch, but it was out of bounds. Bill Brooks, the intended receiver. Paul Langford stride for stride down the sideline. And so now Ron Stark asked to do what Reggie Roby did a number of times in the first half, and that is to punt his team out of trouble.
And there's that transition defense. The Dolphins played excellent defense that time against the run, and then when they had to force the Colts to throw, they covered everybody. And as I said earlier, the Dolphins defensively are having a superb game.
And a flag goes
Delay
down.
a game against the offense. They tried a quick snap. What?
Yeah, that's what I say. You can hear Ron Stark say, what?
Well, the official must touch the football before it's snapped. I don't know whether we have it or not, but if they just went to the line of scrimmage, took the football and snapped it, that's a legal procedure or delay of game.
Well, the Colts are obviously confused. Crowd doesn't like it a bit. And Mr. Barth's explanation didn't make him any happier. But I'm sure it was right. Scott Schwade's in single safety as you look at Ron Stark, who has punted only once today. 65 yards. Not a bad average for the day. He could win a few punting titles, I would think.
Dolphins look like they're going after this one.
They are. 10 men are coming. They blocked the punt last week, but they don't this time. Judson gets off another great punt. Schwade's at the 32 to about the 37 and out of bounds. Run out there by Donnie D. A 53-yard punt by Stark and 7 on the return. So Marino has it back again. A minute 38 to play, third quarter. He's down by 5. Rated than him as far as NFL coaches are concerned. Second only to George Halas. Most Super Bowl appearances, 6. Only one losing season in 18 years as head coach at Miami. Don Shula's done it all. Now he's asking Marino to do it all from the 39-yard line. And a flag, 2 flags are down in the middle of the field.
And that's the back judge, and when the back judge throws the penalty, it's usually against something on the tight end, maybe interference on the tight end, or the tight end was using his hands to push off.
Goes the other way. Indianapolis.
Holding, number 97 defense. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
So they got the rookie O'Brien Alston, the youngster out of Maryland at 6'6", 246. Very enthusiastic football player, this young man. So it's an automatic first down on the holding call defensively. At the 44-yard line, Marino brings them out again with Clayton split left and Duper right. Over the middle, Duper juggled it and caught it in his lap. Great reaction by Duper. The ball started to drop from his hands to the ground, and he nabbed it right in his lap. Big play. First down, Miami.
Amazing concentration by Mark Duper, number 85. Watch him cut inside. And watch him recover here. He's fumbling. Right now, the ball is dropping to the ground. He catches it, maintains possession. Inside is where you can make money if you want to throw the football. The Colts are taking away the outside with the double coverage, but if you come back inside, you can get some big yardage.
18 yards on the completed pass. Boy, does that tell you something about this offense. They got to get something going here. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Stratford cannot get outside. Bickett runs him down, but the big play was initially made by Eugene Daniel, and a flag goes down on the Miami sideline. Maybe a late hit over there by Bickett, who's asking what?
I saw a number of guys clutching their face masks as if we couldn't see it from here, actually.
The 5-yard face mask penalty on number 50. 5 yards. It's not automatic first down. It'll be first and about 3 yards.
Eugene Daniel with a great effort to force Stratford even wider, and then Bickett made the play.
There's Bickett, number 50, right in the center of your screen. Yes, he does have a hand on the face mask. It's unintentional, so it's 5 yards. If it were intentional, it would be 15 yards.
So you just tack that on to the end of the run. It is not an automatic first down. The down box says first, but it's actually second down. They're going to have to correct that. I believe it's 2nd down and 4. Big Farrell Edmonds, the tight end in motion. Stratford again. There's a hole to the 25, and that is a first down. Brought down by Cliff Odom, number 93. The inside linebacker on the right side, and now some pushing and shoving.
Well, some of the veterans should get to O'Brien Alston and tell him to settle down, because he is letting his emotions get away from him, and rookies will sometimes do that. But the one thing you can ill afford here is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Mixing it up with Ronnie Lee, the veteran offensive tackle. So that will be a first down, and they move the sticks. Time is going to expire here before we get another playoff in the 3rd quarter. So we've got 3 quarters down, 15 minutes to play. The Dolphins are on the march. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Indianapolis Colts 12, the Miami Dolphins 7. We'll be right back after these messages from your local stations. Back at the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis through 3 quarters. What do you see that jumps out at you?
The statistics tell me that it's a pretty even ball game, anybody's ball game at this point.
The Colts got to get back to rushing Marino again. They got 4 sacks in this game. Stratford. They stay on the ground. He spins inside the 20 to about the 17. And the reason they're having a little bit more efficiency here is that they've run the ball more effectively in the 2nd half.
There you go. That's the problem for the Colts. The Dolphins are now getting some good blocking. Hand and Donnell Thompson, who in the first half were pretty much having their own way, rushing and controlling the line of scrimmage, are now being blocked. The Dolphins tackles are doing a better job on those 2 ends.
Miami fans do not need to be reminded that last week they scored all 24 points in their first 4 possessions, never scored the rest of the day. Today they scored in their first possession, haven't scored the rest of the day. Legal procedure on the line of scrimmage. Did he jump?
You know, you never...
False start, number 72 offense. 5-yard penalty.
Ronnie Lee.
You never used to see as many penalties with a Don Shula team. This is very uncharacteristic of their play. Shula is usually a guy who is a strict disciplinarian. He wants his teams to be very efficient. In order to be that way, you have to eliminate penalties, and you have to eliminate missed assignments. And I'm seeing more penalties that break down drives than ever before.
I believe that was the 5th penalty of the day against the Miami Dolphins. You might go through 3 or 4 weeks before they'd amass a total of 5 in the past. From the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 8.
Let's see if the Colts get that good pass rush on 2nd down. This is where they've been real effective.
Stratford looked like he wanted to throw the ball. He did. Incomplete. Brian Kinchin, I believe, the 2nd tight end, was the intended receiver. Somebody got in and broke that play up early, or it might have been good. Buffalo starting to blow the Steelers away now. Jets, Detroit. Gary Clark has a touchdown. The Bengals still lead Cleveland 3rd quarter. Minnesota going back on top in against Philadelphia. And the Bears have taken control of Green Bay. Atlanta still leading the Cowboys, and in baseball, Red Sox increase their lead now to 5-0 in the 5th. This is 3rd down and 8. I beg your pardon. Indianapolis leads, and Marino cannot hear the count and calls a timeout. The Dolphins are 1 out of 7 on 3rd downs.
Well, he didn't call the timeout because he couldn't hear the count. He called the timeout because he didn't like the defense.
So while the Shulas and Dan Marino talk it over, we'll take a break. 14:01 to go in regulation.
Today's game is brought to you by Michelob. Michelob is a proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Burger King, where we do it like you do it.
A sold-out Hoosier Dome, better than 60,000 on hand, and imploring their Indianapolis Colts defense to hold here on 3rd down and 8. The ball at the Colts 22-yard line. Indianapolis 12, Miami 7. 4 receivers by Dan Marino and company here. He's got the first down. Completes the pass to Mark Duper on the far side of the field, and Duper has been his man today. Big third down conversion by the Dolphins. Only their second time today, Reggie.
And what a catch by Mark Duper. This is a very difficult pass to catch because Marino really fires the football, and Duper has someone on him. Watch coming to the right of your screen. Marino will roll out. Now watch him fire that thing. You see it caught the back of the football with his fingertips. Outstanding play by Duper. That's concentration.
Chris Good did not have bad coverage either. They spot the ball at the 11-yard line. Dolphins have been in the end zone once today on their first possession, haven't been back for a visit. Dumps it off to Stratford to the 6 in the grasp of Barry Krause, who may be playing his best football ever after 10 years in this league out of Alabama. He just comes to play every single play.
Dan Marino is such a competitor. I mean, he stood in that pocket, he watched the defense, and he went to the right guy, and he's not having the greatest day, but he's hanging in there. But basically the reason why he's hanging in there is the Miami Dolphins defense has done that for them. They have kept the Colts at bay until the offense got it together.
Even on a routine day, Marino over 200 yards through 3 quarters. 2nd and 5. They need 6 yards for the touchdown and the lead. Marino shy of the end zone to Stratford. They'll give him forward progress to about the 2. Bickett with the coverage.
Stratford on many all-rookie teams last year. As a matter of fact, Stratford was voted the Rookie of the Year by a lot of polls. Here he is, number 23. Cooks right at the goal line. Marino with the rifle shot. Just shy of a touchdown. Stratford was one of those guys last year who I think was only the 2nd guy to lead that team in both running and receiving since Tony Nathan.
That's exactly right. Marino's completed 8 straight passes. This is 3rd down and 1 for the first down, 2 for the touchdown. You may be looking at the pivotal play in the game. Marino cannot hear.
I can't believe he's calling these timeouts.
And they charge it to Miami.
Shula is really concerned about that.
I would have thought he'd get a reprieve, wouldn't he, if the crowd was too loud?
Well, it's not the crowd. I mean, all he has to do is step away. It's something else that he's seeing.
Whatever it is, the Dolphins have 1 timeout left. Timeouts in this drive. 3rd down, 1 for the first down, 2 for the touchdown. Stratford is close to the first down. Stuck his nose in there at about the 1. Wait till they unpile here, and they may have to bring the sticks in.
I would say that Shula will commit them to 4-down territory. That means if they don't pick it up on 3rd down, they will probably go for it on 4.
Well, they went for 4th and 1 out at the 20-yard line, so certainly down that close to the end zone, one would suspect.
You'd like to give the football to a bigger back than Stratford. Stratford is 180 pounds. You'd like a fellow like Bennett, who's 230, to get that football, or Davenport, who's over 230, in this particular part of the field.
Well, they've separated, but they haven't made any decision here. Now they're going to bring the sticks on. Well, it's taken an awfully long time.
It's going to be very close.
I think Danny wants to see if it's short exactly by how much. It's inches.
Well, that settles it. All or nothing here.
So you've got a yard for the first down. You got inches for the first down and a yard for the touchdown. And Marino and Shula still trying to communicate here.
Now, the problem here may be the Indianapolis fans. They may be so loud that the Dolphins will have extreme difficulty hearing Marino. And when you're on the goal line, the most important thing is that everybody gets off at the same time, and they may have a problem doing that.
10th play of the drive. Woody Bennett is the upback, and Troy Stratford the tailback from the eye. Stratford. I don't think so. Pryor made great penetration, so did Bickett. First down the other way. Indianapolis is held again.
The Dolphins did not get off good. You saw fragmented movement in the line of scrimmage. The Indianapolis fans share as much credit in that particular stop as the players on the field. Let's watch it now. You're going to watch some people move before others do. They don't all get to the same stop. That's too deep for one thing for Stratford to be in the backfield. And he's injured. He just can't get over the stack. Don Shula, man, he's seen it all, though.
Well, that's twice they've asked Stratford to get the short yardage on fourth down, and he's failed both times.
George Hill, the defensive coordinator of the Colts, very pleased by that.
And Dickerson immediately gets him out of a big hole from the 1 to the 11. Hugh Green is the man who made the stop as you look at the defensive coordinator of the Indianapolis Colts, George Hill, but I don't know that he did anything particularly brilliant there. He just had 11 men stuck in there, and they got their noses in, and they made the play.
When you see a defense make a play like that, the defensive line did its job of getting underneath the offense, clearing the way for the linebackers to make the hits.
Second down, less than a yard here. So the Colts trying to work their way out of a tight position from the 1-yard line. And whom better to give it to? Dickerson out across the 20 in the first down with 20 to spare. Jarvis Williams, a rookie out of Florida, ran him out on the far sideline. But the Colts now, having picked up some momentum from a defensive stand, pass it on to Chris Chandler in the offensive unit.
This is the time when you want to alert everybody in the huddle that it's an opportunity to win the football game. Look at the eyes on Dan Marino. You think he isn't upset with all of this? They have had an opportunity a couple of times now and have been thwarted by the Colts defense.
Dickerson unofficially 95 yards and 23 carries. 5 away from his 47th 100 game. He won't get it there.
It's a strange-looking play. I thought he was going to lateral the ball back to Chandler.
I was going to ask you to describe it, but if you found it strange, then I'm absolutely lost. Maybe a yard on the carry. Let's call it second down and 9. So now the Miami defense, pardon me, Reggie, asked to do what the Indianapolis defense has done twice already.
And still plenty of time in the football game, over 9 minutes to go. The Colts have a lot of moving yet to do.
Play action. Over the middle to Brooks. First down at the 42 in the grasp of Paul Langford. And the Colts are out of trouble in a hurry.
Well, the beauty of this game plan by Ron Meyer has been that he has kept Chandler out of real tough situations. Once again, there's the fake to Dickerson. Good drop by Chandler. Watch him lead that ball right in there. Excellent throw. Safe pass once again, and very good protection by the offensive line.
19 yards, and I guess when you're in trouble, you go to a Boston U alumnus, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Chandler now from the 41. The Colts lead at 12-7 on a turning clock. 8.5 minutes to play in regulation time. They got a horse back there. Dickerson again needs 5 yards for 100. And gets about 4 of them up near the 45-yard line. That should put him awfully close to 100 for the day.
That's that counter trey move that the Redskins run so well, where you have Dickerson stepping one way and coming back to the other side behind the offensive tackle from the offside of the line of scrimmage. 25 rushes, 101 yards for Eric Dickerson. He does it so smoothly.
For the 47th time in his magnificent career, he is now third best, passing Franco Harris. And of course, ahead of him, lies Walter Payton and Jim Brown. And he's right on target for 30 carries, isn't he? This is Bentley. Oh, great swarming defense by the Dolphins. Excellent play by John Bosa. Got some help from Mark Brown, who has just gotten better and better every week, and so good, in fact, that he sent Jackie Shipp to the bench.
Let's take another look at this play. When you don't have Eric Dickerson in the backfield, the defense isn't as concerned. As you can see, they just come right at Bentley here. There's no place for Bentley to go. Bosa, good containment there, makes the tackle.
Hugh Green, not a bad job, too. Third down and 8. again over the middle to Bentley to the 45 and the 41-yard line. Almost broke it. Saving tackle by Renee Thompson, but a 16-yard completion, and you can feel Chandler's confidence swell with each completion.
Once again, they put him in situations that he can have success. Watch, coming right over the middle of the screen, you're going to see just a very easy pass to throw to Bentley, who makes the catch, breaks the tackle. Two things are happening here that we thought might happen if the Colts were to win. Dickerson a lot of carries and get the ball more to Albert Bentley.
First and 10 now at the Miami 41-yard line. For the 27th time in the game, Dickerson inside the 40 to the 37. Brian Soche made the stop. When you look at the stats for Chandler at the end of the day, they're certainly not going to knock your eyes out. 9 out of 17, 101 yards today, 1 interception. But in a controlled offense, when you've got Dickerson, who's run for over 100 already, he has done what the coaching staff has asked him to do. And this is a great boon to the entire offensive unit, and certainly to that young man's confidence.
Well, it's very simple. The one thing that you hope to get from a rookie quarterback is that he doesn't hurt you. And certainly he has played very well. He has executed the game plan, and he has outstanding performances behind him from Dickerson and Bill Brooks.
By comparison, his stats, of course, pale to Marino, who has not had a banner day himself, but who leads on the scoreboard? Mr. Chandler does, 12-7, with 5:57 to play, fourth quarter.
Important drive for the Dolphins defense, because now they can no longer give up a score of any kind. If the Colts get a three-pointer, it puts Miami beyond 7 points reach of the Colts, so they have to shut them down without anything on this drive.
Second and 6. Dickerson may have the first down to about the 31. Again, Hugh Green was there. That will be very, very close to another Indianapolis first down. It is. Quickly around the NFL, still Buffalo with a blocked punt and a return. Rob Riddick with 2 touchdowns in that game. Vikings still leading. Bears holding on at Green Bay. And Dallas got a field goal. Here's Dickerson, 25. John Offerdahl doing his best, but already they're in field goal range for Biasucci, who has 4 of them today. Of course, you're in his range when you're 55 yards out.
And as well as Miami has played, all defenses have weaknesses, Sam. And if you keep running Eric Dickerson at this Dolphin defense the way they're doing, sooner or later he's going to find that weakness and exploit it.
If Miami's defense has any distinction, it is that they have not allowed a passing touchdown this season, and that will carry through this game at least to this point. Chandler, quick pop. Brooks, first down. Out of bounds inside the 20. And the Colts are right where they want to be with 4:14 to play. Langford is the man who knocked him out.
The Dolphins haven't allowed a touchdown today. They've played solid defense, but they haven't gotten any help from the offense. That's called a quick out pass. The quarterback takes 3 steps and just delivers the ball right now, and it's a very safe pass, maybe the safest that you can throw to a wide receiver.
If Dickerson doesn't get it 3 straight times here, I'll be shocked.
Let's see.
First and 10. And again, for the 3rd time, Chandler having trouble with the snap. That's happened 3 times today. This one not quite as costly, obviously, because they don't lose a lot of field position.
The adrenaline is flowing, and you can become over-exuberant, backing away too soon, didn't have the ball. Fortunately for the Colts, he was able to recover.
They've recovered all 3, come to think of it. They've been very fortunate in that regard.
Everybody's going with Dickerson, man. When Dickerson takes off, the defense had better get going.
2nd down and 9. Well, I'm wrong. Dickerson won't carry it 3 straight times. They've wasted 1. But if he doesn't get it the next 2, Dickerson to the just shy of the 10, about the 11-yard line.
Anybody who thinks, that Dickerson isn't worth every penny that he got, I don't think when you have a back that can just take a football and whip up on a defense, you give him the football, he's strong enough to take it inside, he's fast enough to get it on the outside. The only thing that the Dolphins are looking for now maybe make Dickerson pump it up.
This will be his 30th carry, Mr. Rucker.
Right on schedule.
122 yards for Eric Dickerson. It has not been easy. The Dolphins have played him extremely tough. Fighting for every yard, every inch of yardage, and he'll be about a yard shy of the first down. T.J. Turner, who again has played an outstanding line. The entire defensive unit, Soche, Bosa, and Turner particularly, they have really grown up today.
But this is a most impressive drive. Do you realize that the Colts are stuffing the football down the Dolphins' throats, and they don't have Chris Hinton, Ron Soap, Kevin Cole?
They're going to let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning. There are 16 seconds left, 15, 14 on the 45-second clock. There are 4 fewer seconds on the game clock. So they'll reach the 2-minute warning with no problem. Well, couldn't ask for a better one if you like defensive games. Colts have a chance to put it away with a Biasucci field goal when we come back. Bernath has just done a fabulous job in throwing those stats over here, is keeping track. We had a lot of records on the line tonight. Duper had a milestone to reach. Dickerson had a milestone. And everybody got it so far. And the Colts now with a chance to put this one away, one would think, with a Biasucci field goal. This will be a chip shot for him. The line of scrimmage between the 7 and 8 yard lines. So we're talking a kick of about 29 yards. He is 4 for 5 today, including kicks of 50 and 51 yards. He missed a 51-yarder.
The Dolphins have to gamble at all costs. This is a sellout rush. Everybody has to come. You can't allow any more points if you have hopes of winning this football game.
It'll be exactly a 25-yarder. Stark kneels at the 15. He's 5 for 6. And more importantly, Indianapolis has an 8-point lead with 1:57 to play. The winless streak may be over. We'll be back.
Right now, having fun in a Ford Ranger is a whole lot easier to do. Get up to $750 back on the best-selling compact.
Broadcaster of the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Indianapolis Colts and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins, and the Indianapolis Colts. All rights reserved. 1:57 to play. 15-7 is the score. The Colts lead it. The Dolphins need 2 scores to win it. And boy, does that 4th and 1 at the 1 loom large. And not going for the field goal when they're down at the 20-yard line. A lot of things could happen. Jarvis Williams weaving his way through traffic out across the 30-yard line. Stopped by Terry Wright as he crosses the 30, so Danny Marino does not have an enviable task here.
Marino 16 of 26, 207 yards. That's not a good Marino day. He didn't make the big plays during the course of the game. Take a look at Eric Dickerson. We said he needed 25 to 30 carries to keep the pressure off of Chandler. 30 rushes, 125 yards.
Just over the 30-yard line. Marino needing 2 scores in 1:57. They'll be rehashing this one down in Miami for a few days to come. I can assure you of that. Avoids the rush. Short intended for Duper at the 40-yard line. You know, in all due respect to Marino, who's just had the most brilliant 5 years anybody could ever ask for, he doesn't have the kind of protection that he has been accustomed to, and he has had to run for his life sometimes today. He's been sacked 4 times. He's used the rolling pocket 3 or 4 times.
There are all kinds of things wrong with this offense as I see it. They're not rushing the football, for one thing. The receivers are having some problems in route running. The quarterback isn't getting the ball there. The protection is breaking down. It's not one guy when you're having problems.
2nd and 10. Complete up around the 40-yard line. I believe that's Clayton, number 83.
The other problem that the Dolphins are going to have is Marino had to call 2 timeouts in the second half, so they only have 1 timeout remaining.
This is not a nice homecoming for Mark Clayton, product of Cathedral High School here in Indianapolis. Quick pitch to Stratford over the middle. Trying to get to the sideline. They keep him there at the 50-yard line, and they're really in the hurry-up offense with 1:15 to go. And don't forget, Marino used 2 timeouts. He spent them on the last drive that netted him no points. So they're a team in serious trouble. Here's a free play to Jensen, trying to get to the sideline. But there's a free play because a flag is down, and that will stop the clock. So he needed some help from Indianapolis, and he got it with exactly 60 seconds to play. I think it was Ezra Johnson who jumped offside.
Defense, number 90, offside. Penalty refused. First down.
You know that Biasucci has 5 field goals here today. He's not the only field goal kicker who's having a good day. Scott Norwood has 4 for the Buffalo Bills. They lead the Steelers big. 33-14. Marino over the middle. Great catch, Clayton. Equally great hit. Mike Pryor putting him down, but they're inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. The clock continues to run.
Great example of courage coming across the middle, catching the football, knowing you're going to get hit.
They got to score right now.
In the end zone.
Marino. Jensen drops the ball, but it stops the clock. 32 seconds, and I don't believe he could have gotten in there, Reggie.
Let's take another look at the reception that got the Dolphins here. You're going to see just one courageous effort by number 83, Mark Clayton. Number 83 right in the bottom of your screen. Now watch the hit by Pryor, number 39. Almost decapitated Clayton, but he held on to the football. Of course, you've come to expect those kinds of plays from Mark Clayton.
35-inch vertical leap. I would say he's an athlete.
And you know that that man's coming to hit you when he's coming. You can hear him.
Marino's stats now a bit inflated here in this last drive. But he can do it.
He's got to go into the end zone here. Doesn't have enough time to mess around anymore.
Alley-oop, incomplete, intended for Duper, and Mark wants some interference call, but there will be none. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 12.5.
You think Marino didn't watch game films? He knew that Eugene Daniels been having problems down here, and he went right at him. Here's another look at it. Coming to the right of your screen, lower right corner. Watch, just out of reach. It's been that way all day for Miami.
28 seconds to play in regulation. 3rd and 10. A lot of this crowd started to leave, and when Marino hit the bomb to Clayton, they came back into their aisles. Jensen. They mark it
out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Yeah, they gave him a break there. He might have hit shy of the out-of-bounds line. So it stops the clock with 23 seconds. It'll be 4th and about 5. Well, had they elected, of course, you can second guess them to death, but had they taken a field goal in either situation, at the 1 or at the 20, this could be the winning drive.
I'm sure Shule is going to be reminded of that all week.
This is it for Marino, 4th down. In the end zone, great catch by Stratford, who caught it the other way. What a great twisting catch with a man on his back. He had Terry Wright all over him.
A man who had a severe ankle injury, did not start the game, wasn't supposed to play much, but when Lorenzo Hampton went down with a hamstring pull, it forced Stratford into play, and I'll tell you, he has shown us a lot in the second half, coming in here playing less than 100%. Look at the concentration, catching the football behind his back. Great play by Stratford.
Quad Reves for his 2nd extra point attempt of the day. Isn't this remarkable? Oh, my goodness. It won't make any difference anyway. The 1 point won't have any bearing on the game. And this is not college football where you can pick it up and run it the other way and get a couple of points. The play is dead with 19 seconds to go.
It doesn't matter. You've read Don Shuler's lips. He was saying it doesn't matter.
So you know what's coming, don't you? An onside kick. We'll have it for you right after this.
In the past 2 years, 500,000...
said earlier in the broadcast, you just don't ever count a Dan Marino team out of the game. After struggling from the first possession to their last possession, he moved this team in 1:38 seconds, virtually the length of the field, got the touchdown, and now they're just an onside kick recovery away from having a chance to go for a winning field goal perhaps.
What you're going to see is all of the skilled position players, receivers, defensive backs, ends, running backs, people who have good hands and good athletic ability up front, expecting the ball to be squibbed, kicked along the line, along the field. And what they're looking for, they want to make the ball bounce and then go up in the air just at about the 45-yard line. Coming this way. They want the high bounce. There it is.
He got the bounce, and Pryor, is it still loose? Trying to knock it free of Pryor. They whistle the play dead with 18 seconds
now,
to go.
there's a lot that goes on under these piles, and they don't care who touched the ball first. All they're interested in is who's holding it when they get to the bottom of that stack. That's who will get the football.
Jim Jensen almost got into a fight pulling one of the Colts off the pile. The Colts indicate they have it. Of course, that always goes on.
Oh, there's a lot of jockeying.
Yeah, they're pointing in every direction.
There are a lot of F. Lee Baileys down there right now.
The Colts have it. Well, Pryor touched it, so they got it loose from him.
Here's the kick by Reves. Pryor has it there, but he loses it just then. And now there's a mad scramble underneath there, and you can get your eyes gouged out down there.
George Wansley, number 34, will end up with the football.
He'll probably get a game ball.
Here's our first final of the day. New Orleans has held on to beat Tampa Bay 13-9. So the Indianapolis Colts will drop from the ranks of the winless. They entered this game along with the Green Bay Packers as the only two teams who had not won a game. But they're one snap away from going 1-3. The Dolphins can stop at one time with their final timeout if they elect to. And they have stopped the clock with 10 seconds to play.
Very important win for the Colts because Buffalo is winning. They're going to go to 4-0. If the Colts had lost this game, they'd be 0-4.
It's time now for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. And today's MVP is Eric Dickerson of the Indianapolis Colts. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game. Officially, 125 yards in 30 carries for Mr. Dickerson.
Finish my thought. If the Colts had lost today, would be 0-4, and then they would be forced to maybe win 10 out of the next 11 games, and that's almost impossible to do.
You know, we asked Ron Myers, you know, Reggie, yesterday, your team's lost the first 3 games. What'd you say to him? He said, midweek, I had a meeting, and I said, hey, guys, you're twice as good as you were last year. And they said, how's that? Well, you lost 6 games last year. You've only lost 3 so far this year. Let's go win the next 13. Well, they got a leg up on it, but it's a long way to go. They've won their first now in what they hope will get them back into the race in the AFC Eastern Division. The Indianapolis Colts have beaten the Miami Dolphins. The final score, Ron Meyer and the Colts 15, a disappointed Don Shula and the Miami Dolphins 13. So both teams are 1-3 now in the AFC Eastern Division. Quite a victory for Indianapolis, and there's your hero, really, Biasucci, although we gave the MVP award to Eric Dickerson. So that's it for Reggie Rucker. This is Sam Nober bidding you goodbye from Indianapolis now to NFL Live in New York and Len Berman.